What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a daily dash. We are going to be heading to the gym today. I'm just going to give you guys some of the thoughts that are on my mind because it's been a while since I've made one of these videos. Just a quick little car vlog. Let me get this lighting situation figured out. All right, we're back. So today, also check this out. I got a new camera today, or I got it a couple days ago for my birthday, kind of as a birthday present to myself, because I felt like if I have a new camera, I'll actually get out there and film more often. If I don't have a new if I have like this old camera, which I had a GH5 for years, and I felt like it was just so old that I was just like throwing it around and stuff. I didn't care about it. Now I feel like I will actually use it. But in today's video, because I just finished a 9-month tour, and it was by far the biggest, hardest, longest tour we've ever done, and it was like so much brain power. Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna get it done. Honestly, it was just a gigantic leap in where we were before compared to where we are now. And I want to talk to you guys about some of the, I would say, mindset shifts that I made this year, because I'm just going to be upfront. I made over $1 million gross income this year, which I didn't think was possible. I mean, of course, it's always been a goal of mine, and that's gross. That's not, I didn't make $1 million in my pocket, but we made over $1 million as a company with Off Axis this year. And I think that's just like such a milestone in my life as someone who started making these like DoorDash YouTube videos like 6, 7 years ago or so. And I was just talking about it, and I even had like imposter syndrome, like making financial videos back then, because I knew a lot about business and finance and stuff, but I hadn't done it yet. And now that I've made over $1 million in a year, I feel like I can talk about it a little bit. And some of the things that I did differently that I've done before. One of the first things that I would say that I did differently this year than I have, or at least a year and a half ago, because I feel like this whole year started from work I'd been doing about a year and a half ago. The first one was focusing on my product and the pitch. Number one, I basically dropped everything except for the stunt show. The stunt show is now my number one focus, and it's kind of the only thing I really care about at this point, and everything else is kind of being carried with it. Just focusing on making the product as good as possible, because if you have a good product, it will eventually sell itself. It's really hard to sell a bad product. You know, if my show wasn't really good, and I strongly, firmly believe that we have the best show, especially in the fair market, like our value to like cost that we provide is so significant compared to other BMX shows and other tramp ball shows. Like, I just feel like what we offer with the teeterboard, tramp ball, and BMX, and I fly in like the best athletes from all over the world. Like, I'm bringing in Dylan Morrison, who's in my opinion one of the best scooter riders ever, and he's always been one of my favorite guys to ride. I fly him in from across the country to pretty much every single show. So I invest a lot of money into our products, and even talking to all of the other clients are like, we've never seen a show like this before. The guys are like phenomenal. I'm like, that's because we literally we bring in all of the best guys, because I would rather make less money and have a product that sells itself, because the references we get, you know, people refer us to another show, and I think just making the product and only focusing on the product was such a big thing this year. Like, I invested so much money, like probably over $250,000 this year, into the product of the Off Axis stunt show. It's a lot of money, but it looks a lot better. The show, like our jerseys and the stage, like I built a tramp ball trailer that pops right up, and like it's just such a cool looking show now that it could, like, we are the we are the most expensive grounds show on the market, in the fair market, and we were also one of the most booked shows in the fair market. So that's number one thing that I started focusing on. The next thing I would say, as a person, I have been focusing on making my life as efficient as possible. So I believe that a person's success is the ability to complete tasks as efficient and effective as possible. And I always go back to my favorite saying, looks good from far, far from good. And as long as it's not a safety hazard, I'm gonna finish it 90%, because that last 10% of anything usually takes a lot longer. If I wanna paint a car or something like that, I could just paint the car and it'll look like a brand new painted job. But if I don't take off that paint, there's gonna be this people like, oh, you didn't do it right. Well, yeah, but that last 10% that no one else is gonna notice of me not taking the paint off first, that would have taken just as long as the other 90%. So that's kind of how I've been operating, is getting all of my tasks done one by one by one, and not spending too long on something. Like yesterday I was making our 2025 show reel, which I am so stoked about. It turned out so good. I could have spent a lot longer on it, then I was like, I need to finish this task and move on to the other one, because I have so many tasks that have been building up because I've been on tour for the last 9 months basically. So just making my life as efficient as possible, whether that's like, I DoorDash groceries a lot, which I never thought I would do. I do meal preps and stuff now from like Foodie Fit and things that are just pre-made, so I'm not cooking, and just everything I possibly can. I'm trying to like make my life as efficient as possible. That was like my goal of last year. This year, the number 3 thing that I've been focusing on basically is only focusing on high leverage jobs. So whenever, like, especially once you're an entrepreneur and once people like kind of see the success, everyone wants your attention, and people have all these opportunities like, oh, do you want to invest into this, or do you want to work on this? Hey, we could start this business together. Like, everyone comes out of the woodworks and now all of a sudden wants to work with you, when no one wanted to fucking work with me when I was just doing DoorDash videos, I'll tell you that for sure. But just only, and anytime someone comes to me with an idea, I always tell them, if it doesn't add to or help the off-axis stunt show do better, I can't put any attention towards it. That's just it, is I only focus on high leverage jobs. And people ask all the time, like, hey, do you guys do school shows? And I just say no, because school shows, they're only a few grand a pop at best, and a lot of people focus on school shows and small leverage like products, and you just spend all of your time on it. You know, it takes just as much time to build a big project as it does to build a small project, you know, if that makes any sense. You know, it's going to take me just as long to prep for a corporate show that we do in like MGM as it is going to be for me to fucking do a school show. Like, it's giant pay difference, but about the same like time strength that I'm gonna put onto it. The next thing, I already kind of talked about this, is accomplishing each task one by one immediately. Just literally having a to-do list and going through and narrowing them all down and completing that to-do list, because once that to-do list is complete, I can move on to the next object or the next thing, and now I'm getting ahead. If I can get ahead, I can now leverage my time so much better than if I'm playing catch up. Most people, they create all these lists, like all these items on their to-do list, and they just do one here, one there, and like just looking at someone's list, and I'm like, why do you have so many things on there? Finish one. Don't do a bunch of different things, because like you're also like putting, like, you're constraining your brain on, like, I can't just focus on one thing at a time. I have to do all of these other things. Just do one at a time, finish it, put 100% into that time that you do, and once you're finished it, you can move on to the next thing. This thing would just stay perfect in lighting, but it won't. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Lighten it up. 2 more things. Not worrying about money that needs to be spent. So if there is something that I need to spend money on, like for example, like when I was building the ramps and like I needed to buy all this welding equipment, like I'm not stressed about sliding my credit card, because I'm like, I have to slide this credit card. It's expensive, but the job needs to be done. It needs to be done right. So I'm going to buy the most expensive aluminum, because I know over a long period of time, it's going to last a lot longer than if I cheaped out on it. So whatever hole I dig for myself, which we dug a giant hole this year, in order to make $1 million, we had to dig a ginormous hole into debt to create that product that would sell that kind of money. And I knew it would anyways. Like, I was fully confident in myself. literally have a delusional belief in myself that I can do everything and anything that I've ever wanted to do. Some people don't have that. I think my confidence is just fucking through the roof, and people say that's like, some people may say that's bad. I think it's great, you know? Like, I literally feel like I could do anything. I freaking learned how to weld this year, and I welded like 4 different sets while learning how to weld in 1 year. And people who look at my welds are like, dude, this is really good. You taught yourself? I'm like, yeah, taught myself. So having that delusional belief in myself is like one really good thing. And then just like, you know, if I have to spend money on, I have to spend money on food. I'm not going to worry about how much the food costs. I'm trying to get the best food that I possibly can. And I'm not too worried about digging myself into a giant hole. My credit card literally fluctuates from like $20,000 to $50,000 on a monthly basis on how much I spend for the company. So it's like, I'll figure it out later. And clearly it worked this year. So, and then the last thing that I would say that I've done differently this year is just investing 100% into myself. Everything that I spend money on is either for the business or it's for myself to be a smarter, better business person or operator, whatever it is. I've been like, lately I started doing peptides because like my body is breaking down. 9 months of stunt shows. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just start investing into peptides, and it has been great. Peptides, books, like I talk about this all the time, but I read so many books. Right now I'm currently reading 38 letters that what's it called? J.D. Rockefeller, I believe it was. J.D. Rockefeller. Yeah. The 38 letters that J.D. Rockefeller wrote to his son. It's a really good book, not gonna lie, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Just constantly reading and investing into new skill sets for myself, because I believe that the more skills I have, the more money that I can make. So anyways, guys, those are just some things that hopefully you can take some advice from. I just had the greatest year of my life, and I hope that next year is going to be an even greater year. But I'm going to be focusing back on the YouTube stuff for now, because I believe that my personal brand is probably the greatest place that I can spend my time on in the next few months, because we basically have a few months off. We will be performing at, I do have a signed contract now, so I can say it, we will be performing at the Rose Parade. That is my next show. Honestly, it's not till New Year's, but hopefully I book something before then. Obviously, that's 2 months, about 2 months away, so hopefully book something before then. But that's the next thing we have booked. If you guys are at the Rose Parade in Pasadena, California, or if you guys want to watch it on TV, you will see me and my show on TV doing some flips and stuff as usual. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to support me, you can go to my website, offaxisathletics.com. You can get yourself a pair of shoes. We have all kinds of different shoes on there. That's my footwear company website. If you guys want to refer me to a show that you might think that we would book, I pay out 10% to anyone who gives me referrals, and 10%, our minimum is $10,000 that we even do shows for. So if you guys refer me to a show that ends up booking, you'll get $1,000 minimum, all the way up to like $50,000. Not $50,000. You will make like $5,000 if they book a $50,000 show. My website is offaxisacrobatics.com, or you can email me if you guys have suggestions on places we can pitch to. offaxisathletics@gmail.com would be my email. Please don't spam me though. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Let me know what you guys want to see in future videos, because I got a pretty good list of content. I'm going to be doing videos every single day. From now on, the daily dash will just be me driving to the gym with my camera on my dashboard. See how I turned it from DoorDash to dashboard? I got to be honest, my girlfriend thought of that. I was like, it can be called the daily dash still, because the camera's on the, you're right. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. I'm going to go get these gains. I forgot to drink my pre-workout because I was too busy talking to you guys. All right. Peace, guys. Keep on grinding.